Lychee Slicer just put out an update, bringing them into 4.0.7, and it includes amazing things like support painting. Let's dive into this, because I'm excited. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you love resin printing and you love Lychee Slicer, make sure to leave a like and get subscribed. This is definitely not the third time I'm filming this video today, because it's definitely not the third update they've made today, but I've gotten better every single time. So I think you guys will enjoy it. We've got a brand new Lychee Slicer. It's like all new. In fact, even the logo is new. And I kind of like it. It better describes who they are and what they are. And I dig that. But not only is there a brand new interface, we'll go over all of these things. There's easier file preparation. I love that it's now going to show you all of this. It was a little bit complicated to understand it previously. So I'm glad that they've made a change like that. That goes a long way into helping especially newbies better understand what's going on. We've got physical size, although that is only available for Pro and Premium. But that's okay. I'll show it because we do have a Pro account, but it's not like a big thing if you don't have it. We can also see that support painting is unfortunately only available for Pro and Premium, but I think that really validates giving them a little bit of cash every year. It's not expensive. We can see that while they do have a free plan, their Pro plan is about 66 euros, and as far as I can tell, it's basically 1-for-1 to the American dollar now per year. And for full disclosure, of course, we did get Lychee Slicer Pro for free. We are not required to make any videos or anything like that. No money was exchanged hands, and it hasn't expired yet. So thanks, Lychee Slicer. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. But for 65 bucks a year, you're gonna get way more than you would ever get in something like Box or some of the other competitors out there currently. I know there are other companies working on softwares, and they want me to review it. I'd be more than happy to take a look. But yeah, you get a lot of features just on the free alone. But I think the painting is kind of where it's at. We can see the layer thickness preview, which to me is one of the most amazing features that they've added, because it really helps you better understand where you need support and where you don't. That way, you know you got to place a bit of support right there and right there. You should be okay otherwise. Yes, you might need to add a little bit, but you don't need to add it there thinking that it is also covering the first layer. That is pretty amazing. You can save the points of view in Pro and Premium, and I think for those that do a lot of resin printing, there is value to that, but I think you can kind of work without it. It's not necessary to me. We can see there are new navigation shortcuts, pen tablet compatibility, which is pretty cool. I think I have a tablet. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it. And it allows you to better paint on supports and, based on pressure, change how big the supports are, whether it's the light, medium, or heavy, which is pretty damn cool. You can also do easy selection without the minis. You can obviously choose any ones you want. More custom hotkeys for Pro, and of course, object notes on your batch tools for Pro as well. There's of course a full changelog coming on their website where you can go ahead and go through it if you do so choose. 4.0.7 just came out. They literally haven't even updated it. I'm definitely not filming this video for the third time today. But you know what isn't filmed for the third time today? Our sponsor, 3D Musketeers. As always, thanks for 3D Musketeers for supporting this channel. If you don't want to deal with the fact that resin is toxic and you want to get your parts printed by experts, reach out to the team over at 3D Musketeers. We have over 40 years experience and almost 43 printers to help you get your ideas in your hand as quickly and efficiently as possible. Remember that when you hire pros, you don't deal with a lot of the BS like the cleanup, the disposal, the supporting, or any of that in between. We handle all of that for you. And that makes the entire experience of resin 3D printing quite a bit more fun, as far as I'm concerned, because quite frankly, resin is dirty, resin is toxic, and resin can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But that doesn't mean it's still not fun. And if you don't have any prints that you want to bring over to 3D Musketeers, but you do want to help support what we do here, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Links, of course, will be in that description down below. And at the $25 tier, you will be offered a chance to beta test The Politician, our answer to dealing with problematic resin prints where you don't have stable temperature, and especially here in Florida where you definitely don't want to have your air conditioning running at 76 or below all the time, because boy howdy, that would get expensive. Something like The Politician allows your external air temperature to fluctuate while keeping your internal air inside of your printer completely and utterly stable. But we know not everyone can afford to kick a couple of bucks into that creator fund, and for whatever it might be worth, it is the first couple of weeks of the month, so it's the best time to support your favorite creators out there. But a like, subscribe, and a share goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and that helps us make more videos like this all the time. So we greatly appreciate all of your support. Now back to talking about fruits. We can also see that Lychee is adding new printers, including the Elegoo Saturn II, Mars 3 Pro, and we can also see they updated their new logo, and I like this little animation. It makes me smile. But yeah, let's take a look at these options. All right, I've got the bamboo that I'm used to, the Wacom bamboo. We actually got this at an estate sale for $5. Yeah, Wacom users, eat your hearts out. So we're gonna go ahead and try some things, but let's grab a model, and because it was the time lapse, you can actually see it, it's still on the printer. Let's grab that part. All right, we got the Cthulhu head from Fotis Mint. Of course, Fotis's Patreon will be linked in the description down below. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing angled. We're gonna take a look at all the things that are new about Lychee Slicer. I am excited for this. I do like the new UI. It's a little bit cleaner. I love the cube up at the top that rotates. Okay, we got 96 islands. We're just gonna quickly add support to them. Now we can literally go around manual supports. We can see that support painting is enabled. Its interval is 1 millimeter. So this is as you're painting. If I just do this and I drag, it's gonna give me supports every 1 millimeter. So you can change this to be whatever you want. Let's say I wanted to do specifically the base. Bases are normally something where, all right, you really want to deal with supports that are pretty close to each other. Just come through here and just paint them. That is pretty darn useful, if you ask me. We can also see that the pressure can be interval. Now, that is mostly because of the pen guys. So, got my Wacom pen here. We got our bamboo tablet. And by using pressure sensitivity, we can come in here and get the intervals really, really close by just very, very light pressure, or really far apart with really heavy pressure. This is awesome for anyone that uses a drawing tablet, because you're able to do supports any way that you want. Now, we can do no pressure. We can also do preset. So that will allow you to deal between medium and heavy. So, check this out. We're going to start drawing. And then I'm going to press down harder. And that's going to give us our heavy supports. Then I back it down, up, down, down to light, down to medium. It's pretty amazing what can be done with just a drawing tablet. And especially for those that are in the custom support market, this is amazing for you guys. I'm old school though, and I'm probably gonna stick with the ye olde mouse and keyboard. One day I will learn how to use drawing tablet. Day is not that day. But I will say, for those that do a lot of sculpting, that want to start doing their own pre-supports, it is second nature to use the drawing tablets, especially if you have something like a Cintiq or a tablet that has a screen on it. Mine does not. Mine was $5 at an estate sale. But we can still see a lot of great features in this painting system, right? Allows you to put them wherever you want, however many you want, wherever you want. But that is not just for your regular supports. Once you have your mini support, which we can do pretty easily by just clicking there to there, we can go Alt-Shift and we can paint the mini supports as well. And for those that followed one of our previous videos all about making custom supports, we'll card to that video so you can take a look. You'll know that this part of it, the mini supports, sucks. It was so complicated. It was a ton of time. I'll take my interval way down for my mini supports. We'll do Alt-Shift and then just paint these things all over the dang place. That is amazing to me. This, to me, is probably one of the biggest feature updates. But we can also see here, which, again, thank you, Lychee Slicer team. You're able to look at how much penetration has, which normally for mini supports is 0, tip diameter for both top and bottom, and penetration for both top and bottom. You know we're all about the penetration here. And of course, you can change it to whatever base plate you want. We can get rid of mini support. We can change it to whatever you might want. Click away from it. We can change that to a mini as well, if we want. But I love that now we're able to look at tip diameter, which will show us exactly where it is. Tip length shows us where that is as well. And then the main diameter. So we want to crank the main diameter up to 6. It's disgusting, but that's what it looks like. This adds a lot of value to the Pro and Premium plans because it does enable you to quite quickly and more efficiently do your supports. So let's support the base on this. And then because we're going to go for lower supports, we'll go to here and just paint them all about. You know, I used to do this way more complicated than what we're looking at now. Boy howdy, that is nice. Cut the interval down some. And just like that, the darn thing is effectively mostly supported. Obviously, you want to go back in, take a look at something like this, do a mini support or two, and then just paint mini supports just along the edge, which of course is so much easier now. And again, I'm no expert in supports. I do my best, but somebody like Charo Zuck or Ty from Tabletop Foundry or the team from Atlas 3D would be much better to show you how to do custom supports. I'm just showing you what is possible. And then I think there's quite a bit of value being added here. Of course, when we look at doing supports higher up, it's not that difficult to come in, look at painting in areas that we think we want a little bit more. And of course, we can look at those layers by turning on the layer thickness preview. And that will auto update based on what you have set in your slicer. Makes life a little bit easier. So when we look under here, we can see that, yeah, there's a fair bit of layer thickness going on. And easily see where we have support and where we need it. It's like we could maybe use a bit of a support there because we can see that it starts to get a little bit crazy. I might choose to do a mini support there, and then just choose to do a few more of them. That is the beauty of actually being able to see the layer lines rendered out. Now, I will say, it is a little more intensive on the computer, so make sure you got something that can handle this, but it makes supporting so much easier. Also, now when looking at the contact points, you can also have very thin, small lines that represent the actual support material itself. That way, when you're looking at where you want to paint in support, it doesn't really get in the way, but it does give you a decent visualization of what's going on without really having to go through and look around. Because I'll tell you, eventually, moving around a model with tons of lines like this, or with just this, makes it difficult for you to understand what you're looking at, especially for new beginners. And of course, the auto supports here are pretty decent. We'll generate automatic supports. It's going to get rid of all of my custom supports, which is fine. We'll take a look at what it thinks. I will also say, this is subjective, so take it with a grain of salt. I do believe that it is a considerably faster support algorithm. Now, if I want to go in here and deal with an island, like here, you can see an island pretty clearly. This one is okay. Not that bad to deal with, right? That one, same deal. Not too bad. But as we start to get to some of these others, all of the other supports get in the way. So, traditionally, you just change it to contact, which is okay, but it really doesn't give you a good idea of what's going on. So, adding the lines makes it so you can get a better idea of what's actually going on. I do wish that it would show the support lines as you're making them in full and then leave the other stuff kind of non-visible, similar to this. I think it would make it a little bit easier for those of us that are just starting out on their support journeys. But you can see it, yeah, could be a bit of a nightmare. But now when we want to view something, of course, there are 57 islands. I'm not actually going to print this. It's just a matter of showing things. We have at scale. Of course, we got a banana, as one does for scale. We can do physical size mode as well. Now, that requires you to have a pair of calipers or a ruler, and of course, your mileage is going to vary. But I'm going to set it for mine because we're here. we might as well. So I'm gonna go up to the screen and I'm gonna measure out what this distance is. 62 millimeters for me. So I'm gonna say that this is 62, and there we go. That makes sure that this model actually show to be the same size that it is on my screen as it would be when you print it. I think there is a ton of value to that for those of you that are looking to figure out, well, how big is this going to be? I don't understand. Well, Lychee Slicer just changed the game and made it so you too can do resin printing without a ton of extra work. And yes, of course, a lot of features that we showed are for the premium and pro levels, but there is a free version. When we look at all the features that are also available for the free, things like the line toggle, the pen tablet, navigation shortcuts, an easy selection without minis. Like, let me show you. Let me show you. We go to supports, we go to selection, and we can select different sizes, but we can do select all except mini, and that will allow us to see just our minis. It can allow us to delete things. I know it seems trivial. It's not, and it's pretty awesome. We can even do things like select close to light support, select close to medium. I'm telling you, they're changing the game for resin slicing. I'm also finding that this one is way faster, but I don't think they talked about it in their press release. But yeah, I think the big factors right now are going to be your painting for Pro and Premium, your layer thickness preview. So even if you're not using the painting, the layer thickness preview on its own is incredibly valuable for those that want to do their own supports. That way you don't end up wasting time and material. And the physical size. I think those few really make it worth it. But especially if you're running a pen tablet, especially one with a screen on it, dude, that painting with the freaking pen, good lord. I love the team at Lychee Slicer. Of course, we interviewed them recently, so make sure you guys check out that, where we talked to Thomas and Alexandre from the Lychee Slicer team. Really more about the industry and a lot less about Lychee Slicer, but that's what I kind of love about these guys. They just wanted to have a good time, and you gotta love it. But this update is awesome. And I'd love to know what you guys think down in those comments, because I'm sure there's stuff that I'm missing here. Yes, I might have recorded this video 3 times, but I still think I'm missing things. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. Absolutely not. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and a massive thank you goes out to all of our Patreon and YouTube channel member supporters. Remember, if you want to support this channel directly, you can do so by hitting that join button or clicking the links down in that description for our Patreon page. At the $5 tier and higher, your name goes right next to me while I'm doing this outro. Right below me will be our original video on Lychee Slicer, where I looked at it for the first time. I've looked at it previously, but looked at it from a newbie's perspective. And next to that will be my interview with the Lychee Slicer team that we did on the podcast. I will see you guys down in those comments, and in the next one, take care.